I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and welcome to WorldwideWoodTurners.com, your internet wood turning club. You know the one? Yeah. All right. Well, we introduced this program September 28th and put it out there. That's just about 10 days ago, really. And I thought, wow, we're going to really get into the fall, and things are going to cruise along, and everything goes smooth. Guess what? There was a rut in the road I didn't see. We got past that. And fall, it ain't here yet. Here it is, the 7th of October. Yeah, yesterday was my birthday. Thank you for the greetings. And it's 94 degrees outside. We're in South Louisiana. That ain't supposed to happen. So, what I'm doing right now is doing the recap, or part of the recap, for the program we put out on September 28th. Now, the way this works, I'm going to just bore you for a minute, is you watch one of our programs, our program, because it's got everybody in the entire world that wood turns included in this program. Everybody. Right? And we get input from everybody else. Not that? Okay. And we're here to share ideas. Now, you see this big sign behind me that says, well, and the one over here, and the they're no advertisements. We're not married to anybody. We might be dating them, but we're not real serious, okay? So that's why we're going to keep it straight and level to you. Tell you what you need to know. So if you see something on our program and you have a question, all you have to do, this is so easy, all you have to do is send me an email to this address. This one right here. WorldwideWoodTurners@gmail.com. WorldwideWoodTurners@gmail.com, whichever way it goes. Alright, because I never get this right. But that's where you send a message, and then we get them. And boy, did we get them. I'm not going to bore you too long, but we got some input this month. I just pulled the computer back up, and I've got over 100 questions in the first 10 days. Over 100 things. Guys are asking questions that are legitimately honest. Okay? Can you do off-center medallions for ladies and girls? Christmas is coming up. Hey, we'll talk about that in a minute. But medallions and stuff for your nieces, your grandchildren, and all that. Without a chuck? Yes. Can you make your own chuck? Yes. Are there chucks available? Yes. And what do you need? You need wood and a double-stick tape and a little bit of patience. Double-stick tape is a critical part of that. Okay. Can we get into making small jewelry on the lathe? I think so. You know what would be the points I made over my life by making little earrings and double. Yeah. And tell you what, it might seem cheeky to you, but imagine that your work of art that you're going to work on is minuscule. I mean, little, bitty. Wow, that is tiny. And it's going to be perfect. There's the challenge. And when you do earrings, they got to look sort of like, or really, well, don't ask me, I don't have any earrings. How to make a phi gauge. A phi gauge. It's not a pi gauge. It's not the little triangle. Phi is 1 is equal to 1.6183888. Yeah, we have one we draw out for you. And we'll put that on our website. We're developing a website. Go down a crooked road here. We're building a website with volunteers. And we're trying to get it up and running. But remember, people have jobs, and they're doing this as a volunteer and doing it to help you and me. So I'm not going to put any deadlines on they can't meet. I can't tell somebody you got to go faster if you really can't go faster. It's not fair. So we're building a website. When we get our website built, then we'll be able to place things. We're already on Facebook. Yeah. Worldwide Wood Turners. One word, Worldwide Wood Turners. There's a space there. All right. On YouTube. I'm sorry, on Facebook. And we have a YouTube channel, and that's all one word, Worldwide Wood Turners. You'll find that. And when you get to there, subscribe, because that's where I'd like you to get the videos from. But we're building things like that. We talk about the phi gauge. and how you do things in your shop, your tools, your way, and they're yours. Yeah, and then you can use them in the way we kind of guide you a little bit. Remember, this is not locked in dead stone. It's not there. So if we come up with something that's a suggestion or a method or whatever, and do I have to read the disclaimer? The disclaimer is, it's real simple, but you got to listen to it. If you're too stupid to know what's right and wrong, don't do it. The lawyers say I can't put that up here. But, hey, they didn't pay an entry fee, just like you didn't either. All right, I'm going to get on to this. Sharpen a scraper. What is a scraper? Negative rake scraper? You want to twist my grits? Yes, negative rake scraper. We're going to really talk about that. I'm going to tell you where it came from and where it went and how it cuts and why it doesn't cut and why you have a problem with it and why some people make it look so simple. And it's all you. That's it. You think it's one of those magic things you pull out of a box and use? Don't work that way. So we'll get into that. Step centers. We did the thing last month with the Christmas ornament, showing you how to make a Christmas tree, and it was on a 4-point center and a live center. And when I got back to the house, I don't have a 4-point center I like to use. I've got them. Got more than I need. But I really like to use my step center, STEB center, with a spring-loaded point, because I find it makes my turning, makes me safer in my turning. I'm more protected in my turning. I feel better about my turning with a step center. So why do I have one? Why will I use it? Why do you think you need to get one? And again, we won't do brands and promotions and all that. Oh, we did say something. I just said something. Did you say anything? Okay. Did say something about Christmas ornaments. This coming program, they released in 2 weeks. The last Saturday in October, I believe it is going to have how to do another Christmas ornament project. Yes. Why? Because it's October. We're supposed to be in the fall. I should have a sweater on instead of sweating. But we're going to do Christmas ornaments to show you how these things go and how easy it is for you to make them. And when I was talking to my buddies the other day about it, I said, you know, if you have a collet chuck, you can do this one project. And if you don't have a collet chuck and and if you don't have either one of those and you gotta sitting there talking with 4 other wood turners, we came up with 6 ways to make this one project. That's going to get shared to you. That's what this club is all about. You see, it's not one knucklehead. It's a whole pile of knuckleheads. And we're all getting, you were called a knucklehead when you were a kid, weren't you? Okay, and we're all going to get together and put our thoughts together and then let you sort them out. The other day, I got to work on this. I have a video on this on my Making Shaving site. How to sharpen a skew. And I got to start this off right away. Skews, gouges, plows, planers, scrapers, all these tools come from a manufacturer. And I'm not going to pick on anybody. I definitely don't want to say it. But think about what expertise they have to take it off that machine, put it in a box, and make sure it's done right. We're in a new world now. It's not the old world. And they're going to give you the bare basic you can get when you get a tool that they can offer you. So you get that skew and it's got a big flat face on it, and I've heard guys say, man, that's perfect, that's perfect. Show me how you work that thing. How do you ride your bevel when it's half a mile away from the tip? Alright, we're going to talk about that and how to use it, how to finesse it in. There's a whole lot of this in this business, in this hobby, this sport, this activity, this obsession that we all have to agree on, and it's all right here. It's how you do this. We're going to do a what if program. We're going to have that in every show. What if? Then I'm going to have 5 questions for you. You think about those questions before you do it. Finishes. Man, you want to open a can of worms. Open a can of worms to label finishes. because then you're going to be there forever. I mean, finishes. What I want to take, and I got it all worked out, okay? It's all right here. I want to take a nice plank of hardwood. Not real hard, not dense, not exotic, it's just hardwood. And I want to put 5 stages of finish on it to show you what happens when I go dark and dirty. I go slow and sweet. I stack, and then I stack some more, and then I polish. I'm going to show you all that on one plank of wood so you can see it. You've seen these things. Remember when you used to go to the paint store, they had a sample of the paint, and they had the primer and the paint on a board? They don't do that anymore. But they can show you how the difference would be from gloss to no gloss and all this stuff, and kill the flat. And, all right. Well, finishes are just like that. And we're going to play with those finishes a little bit. But boy, talk about a can of worms. I brought it up to my advisory team. Oh yeah, you're on a team. I didn't start there because you might run away. Brought up to my advisory team, I had 10 opinions in 5 minutes. And we did not agree on any of them. That's what this is all about. Oh, you know what this is about? It's about the art that we do. Yeah. And because I get so many photographs, you can send me a photograph to the worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. That's the one you got to send it to, worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. I think it goes this way. You send me a photograph of your work. Tell me, number one, tell me who you are. Because I can put up there that says bald fat guy. I can't use that for a description. It could be me. Tell me what kind of wood it is. What do you have on it for a finish? Tell me a story about your wood turning. Put it in a little piece. And we'll put them in a program and show you the pictures. In fact, I have so many. I'm going to take a break right now and show you some of the photographs we got in the last 10 days. And there's more coming. Isn't there? Don't you have one coming to me? All right. Watch. We're going to kick this off with a piece by Brian Randolph. He sent me a couple of pieces this week. This has got great color, great texture, and I do like the style. Really nice, Brian. Then Carolyn Street did this acorn box, and I swear that thing looks just like an acorn. Great color. The texture worked out really good for her, and the grain pops. Jeff Robinson did this. Take a look at this. It is a hollowing rig. Now, Jeff built this in his shop, and he got a great idea from looking at this that he couldn't afford to put in the shop. Nice move. Then Kenneth Kozlowski did this piece, a little bit of wood and a little bit of epoxy, and it came out pretty nice. I like the green color. Mike Mathern did this. He calls it a lowly 2x4. Looks like he glued up some pieces and made it into art. Robert Clark did this. I do like the piece with a little hole in the back. That gives it some character. That's what people looking for when they pick up your work and look at it. And then my buddy Ronnie said, beer's on me. Oh, wait, which one is the beer and which one's the turning? You see, he's got it right. That was a pretty work, wasn't it? Yeah. Boy, you folks are masters. That's why we're doing this. If you can't belong to a local club, you don't want to belong to a local club. You can't pay dues, you don't want to pay dues. You don't want to buy a magazine, I don't like magazines. Well, sort of. But if you want to do that, worldwidewoodturners.com is for you. Worldwide Woodturners, yeah. And we're putting all this stuff together. So if you've got a photograph of some of your work, send it to me. Email address. No other way possible. If it don't come to this, it don't come to this. That's how it is. All right, I'm looking back at the list here because I'm going over these things we're supposed to be working on, and I'm working on some of this stuff. A guy says, a lace size, does it really matter? Ask any 18-year-old boy if size matters. Go ahead, ask him. I'll wait. You're probably going to come back with about 10 opinions. And there are 10 opinions, or more. Talk about why does it matter and what matters, and then do I have to buy the Acme brand, or can I get a Y with the XYZ brand or the brand in the middle and save some money? We're going to do a little session on that so you can understand a little bit better. When you step up or step into wood turning, you need to know all the pitfalls, all the ruts in the road. That's what we want to talk about. And I take input from you. I keep saying that. I take input from you. How do you make a sizing the tenon or tendon, which we're going to decide pond yarn, on the bottom of a bowl to fit into your lathe to get the maximum hold? We're going to show it to you. They're going to show you how the manufacturers recommend it. Guess what? They're pretty damn close. Really are. It's not as hard as you think, but it's as simple as you think. And it takes a little gauge, and we don't sell them. You got to make it yourself to fit your chuck, to fit your size wood, to fit your lathe. Yeah, talk more about that. Had a guy the other day said I want to use my skew, and he's watched me on a piece, and I did some nice little slicing cut, and he says, I can't do that. Mine's holding open the shop door because it's only good for a doorstop. We're going to change that. I've talked to some professional wood turners over the years, and I think I know the secret of that tool. And it's, I don't want to get ahead of it, but we're going to do that. We'll cover that. What happens if my lathe bed gets all gooped up and chunked up because it sleeps outside? Mine sleeps outside. That's not a conditioned shop. I got a little blower fan and an air conditioner in it. That ain't a conditioned shop. And this is South Louisiana. I can cut your chunk out the air and mail it to you if I want to. We get humidity. But I'm using a new product in the last year or so on treating the lathe bed, and I really like it, because if you get it too slick, well, I'm ratting out, putting all this out too early. If you get it too slick, the tailstock will move or won't lock down. If you don't get it slick enough, you can't move the thing. So there's a kind of it's a product, and it ain't spray grease. Okay. Lathe speed. I get this question all the time where guys say, can you tell me what speed you're turning that pen at, or that stopper, or that bowl, or that jar, whatever? Yes, I can give you the exact speed. Go to your lathe. We're going to talk about that. How would you determine that? And I can bring up some videos from professional turners that will show you the ups and the downs and the harmonics in the middle. And there's a whole lot of what we talk about that's going to be harmonics. You are spinning a piece of wood, or plastic, or whatever you're spinning. It's an object, material. You're spinning it and you're cutting it. Is it consistent all the way around? I mean, is it the same density, the same weight, the same strength, cut the same? Does it have grain? Does it have grain? Does it have grain? Does it have grain? How you approach it is going to make the big difference on how you cut it. And when you're doing that, if you just go in and see chips come flying over the shoulder, and I've seen enough of those videos, I don't like them. Because I realize that's showboating. And no real turner worries about where his chips go. I don't have to hit the bucket, I got a broom. I don't use it, but I have one. I know it's around here somewhere. But we're going to show you how, when you approach it and how you do it, where you make the harmonics. Because see, this is evolving. It's changing. It's ever changing. It won't stop changing. You don't want it to stop changing. You live for this. But you need to live with it. So if we can adjust those harmonics to get them minimized, what we do to the work will come out better, smoother, easier to work, and less sanding. For you guys that start sanding with a brick, you can get rid of your bricks. Got one here. I sand to 20. Wait, I gotta read you this one. I sand to 20,000 grit when I do ink pens. Is that a good move? You want to handle this? Huh? You. I mean, it's open. You can do whatever you want. I mean, answer it. Go ahead. I'm going to say thank you for the sandpaper industry. For the sandpaper industry, thank you, sir, please. For the wood turning industry, think about it a little bit. Think about what you're sanding. Think about what you're polishing. Think about what you, well, think about. We're going to explain how that works and why it doesn't work. It can be as simple as, well, I don't give it away. Well, all right. Soft wood tear out. What do I do if I got something that's too punky to turn? It's called the barbecue pit. No, there are some ways to save them. Some ways you and I can afford to do it. We can't all go get a vacuum chuck and all these other things, but there's some things we can do in the shop without a lot of equipment that will help you save that piece that you want to do. Yeah. Sharpening tools with a belt sander. If there are things in this world that would be illegal, the belt sanding industry would tell you you can't sharpen tools with a belt sander. And professional turners will say, why would you want to do that? I mean, a belt sander? My belt sander on the table right here is one of the most used tools in my shop. That, the bandsaw, and the lathe. All the rest of the stuff is just here. Yeah, you collect. But I can sharpen a tool on the belt sander like you won't believe. I can show you how to do a gouge, a skew, a scraper. Hey, as long as you're moving metal, you're sharpening it. And how do you move it? And how much of it do you move? That's important. So, and then we got to talk about cleaning that chuck. I get so many calls. A good friend of mine today told me about a little Christmas ornament that he's doing. I'm getting ideas on Christmas ornaments. Can I solicit from you? I'm going to go back to this, okay? That was number 45. I want to make more Christmas ornaments. And I want to be simple enough, but articulate enough, but complex enough, beautiful enough, and artwork enough to where it will show you, your quality of work, what you do, and where your heart is. Christmas ornaments. Not the glassy things that hang on a bulb. I still got those on my feet from when I was a kid. Alright. But other Christmas ornaments that you can do simple on the lathe. And we can't wait too late. We're running out of year. So if you want to start making Christmas ornaments in December, it's alright with me. I'd rather give them away in December. That's better for me. Now, we talked about getting things done for the shop and all, and briefly cleaning a chuck. My buddy called me the other day about the chuck. That's where I was at, right? Yeah, I'm back to this. He said, I want to buy a new chuck. What do I want to get? That's like asking a guy what kind of woman he loves. Go ahead and nail it down a couple of sentences. Nail it down to a paragraph. A book. A set of encyclopedias. You see, once you open this door, you got to look at all the variables. So what I would like to have, I've got most of what I want to have in that. And what I'd like to have is when it works right. So I'm going to show you how to maintain it and make it work right. But I'm also going to show you the pitfalls of buying that cheap one. Because if you can't maintain it, then it won't work right. It's like a never-ending circle. Oh, talk about circles. It's time we circle back and take a look at a few more photographs. And again, the photographs come from you, our wood turners. And if you want to get yours in the show, it's going to be in the recap and in the main show. You got to send it to worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. How about that? I didn't read the crib notes. She's over there holding the crib notes. I don't want to tell her she's holding them upside down, but while we cover this, watch these photos. Let's crank it off with a nice piece here about Robert McCumber. I like it. It looks like antler with some wood added to it. It's got great detail to it. Richard's got this. Richard did this football. Now, this is just the beginning of the football. He's turned it and he's did a little art. Then he did a little more art on the football to make it a little more attractive. And then finally, he tuned it all in, added some color, and look at that. You don't go kicking on this thing now. It's real wood. But Richard Maxfield did that. Really nice. He also did these ornaments, just to let you know he has some idea of sizing and stuff, and those are nice. Light bulb and a Christmas tree.
Larry Warren turned out this segmented piece. There's more not there than is there. I believe that's how you can describe that. Very nice, Larry. Mike Huggins is back, and he's got a really nice set of duck calls here. They're nice. Got a lot of color. Really pops on it. Mike Betherne, he closed up that box to show it to us. That's his lowly 2x4 closed up. And then I got to go to my sketch artist, James Brandt, who created this piece. This is nice. You really want to feel it to see what it looks like.
Well, that didn't work out. I told her you got to turn the cards over. She flipped them the other way. Oh well, we all learn here. Hey, if you got a photograph you want to include in the program, all you have to do is send it to me at the email address. No other venue. No other way. You can't even come hand it to me in my hand and say, hey, take a look at this. No. Gmail is the only way I can get it. Because I have to go from program to program to program to program, and I can barely go from doorstep to doorstep to doorstep to doorstep. So hey, you got to work with me on this. Send me the photographs, and I'll take care of it. Some other things folks came up with. How do you make a glue press out of rubber bands? Boy, there's a guy that does some fantastic segmented stuff, Malcolm, and he is, I tell you what, I'd be rich if I could afford his rubber bands, because that's all he works with. Show you how, why, and what you should and shouldn't do with it. And then some tips to help stretch that a little bit. All right. How do you build a jig for determining the bottom of a bowl? Well, most of us determine that and then cut it a 1/4 inch too deep, so it becomes a funnel. But we'll only show you a couple of simple tools for doing that to try to take the mystery out. Things you can build in your shop with your stuff. Nothing fancy, no brass ends, it's easy, okay? That's what we're going to do. Here's a good one. This came in from Craig Allen. He said, why and when to scrape, get this, 3 parts here. He says, why and when to scrape, push, or pull on a cut. Wow. Craig, they're going to name a school after you one day, really. Because if you can explain how to use it and why to use it, you understand this game. You really do. A lot of folks don't look past shavings coming off, or a commercial, or an advertisement, or YouTube where the guy got stuff going everywhere, and it's really, all right? A whole lot more than that. It's that wood. It's that plastic. It's that epoxy. And David Duran's been doing some epoxy. I got some great stuff to show y'all coming up with him. He's getting a little particular about sharing all his photographs. Why? Because he thinks you're stealing his ideas. They're okay. They're good ideas. Steal them. All right. I had one the other day. This is good. You're going to love this. Guy said, what's the difference between sanding sealer, OB shine juice, and CA? We're back to encyclopedias, aren't we? All right. We're going to talk about, when we're doing the finishing, we're going to talk about those products and what they do, what they accomplish, and how they accomplish it. Because it's not just what they do and what you get out of it. It's what they're doing to get it out of it, because the one thing we do love about this material we work with, if you work with wood, is it moves. And we have to be acceptable that it will move after we're done turning it. Okay? Here's another one. Coloring. Can I color with the RIT dye? Yeah. I color with RIT dye. I've got that professional stuff from the trade shows. I have some cartridges out of an old color printer that my neighbor had. There. Red, blue, and yellow to do color pictures. And he had these extra cartridges. Didn't have the printer anymore. I took the cards. I put gloves on. See? Clean hands? Yeah. I put gloves on. I took those, put in a little bottle, and then I put a little alcohol in them to cut them some more. Pop and color. We're going to talk about that. There's some ways to color some of your projects that are really easy and inexpensive and can be rather unique. And that's, I think, what you're looking for. I mean, you don't have to do what he does. You just have to do what you do a little bit better. We had Craig again. I got a whole list of stuff from Craig. He said when you talk about a gouge being open and closed, because it's open and closed. Is that right? Okay. What does that mean? It really means that you're cutting a lot different. So we're going to try to show you close-up video of how that tool cuts. And you can go try it, but you need a friend. You do. I can't get you one of those, but you can get one on your own. You need somebody to turn the wheel on your lathe at about 2 RPMs so you can use that cutter and see it cut. Honestly, see it cut. And then do the other thing that they do on YouTubes and TVs and see it tear or plow. A friend of mine in the farming business says the worst thing he does to his field every year is plow it up. It's the worst thing he does. It's necessary, but it's worse. Is my drill press out of the line? I love it. The guy sent me a picture the other day of him lining up his drill press. I can't write this out too early. Really, I can't, because it's going to be a next month's show. How to line up his drill press. And he's got gauges and gizmos and gadgets and readouts and all that. When I told him to go get and do and showed him, and there is absolutely no flaw in the program. It is rock dumb stupid and easy. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So that's it. All right. Got a few more. Do we really read? Oh boy, I got it here. When you use CA glue, does it make the wood too hard to cut? It doesn't make the wood too hard to cut. We're going to talk about that. We'll probably talk to a couple of manufacturers about it because they got some really unique things out there right now. They got some wood glues that dry in 15 minutes. I came up in cabinet making. I started cabinet making in 1962 at school. And I still had the lock plane I bought that day when I went to school. We had glue that sat for a day to cure because that's what we were using the product. Today's product has changed. So we're going to talk about how that product changed, but then how did CA change? It's changed a lot from when it was formulated to help save lives in Vietnam. It really was. And it's really unique, and there's a lot of strange products out there. The CA doesn't make the wood too hard. The CA is often too hard. Did I confuse you on that? I didn't want to. If you soak that board with CA, it's going to probably leach out a little bit. Might change the condition of the wood around it, and the coloring and aspects. And some of that can be sanded, some can't be sanded. But it doesn't make the wood too hard. It's too hard. So when you use CA cautiously, and I used to bathe things in it, really was nut about it. I thought it was a great wood hardener until I got my bills. Alright, but when I use CA, I'm using it very sporadically. And then do I use accelerator? No. Yes. Maybe. Perhaps. Often. Never. You see, it's one of those questions you don't want to ask. Accelerator makes the whole process go quick. Accelerate. Remember that 65 Chevy Chevalier Daddy had? Rocket. Accelerate. Okay. Remember ours, it was mint green. Really pretty. The accelerator accelerates what's happening. But CA doesn't always need it. And it's sometimes using it can bring a little more pain than joy. We'll talk about that. So on our list of things, zeroing down all these things that you can do. Here's one. What is end grain and how do you slice it? Yeah, that could be the question of the day. Really is. And we may have to talk a lot about that. What is end grain? Where does it come from? And how do you cut it? Nope, I said that wrong. Where does end grain? Where does it come from? And how do you slice it? That's the key part. The the slicing part. You see, if you just cut it, it's end grain. If you don't cut it really sharp, nice, it can pull more end grain. It's a never-ending Pandora's box. But if we slice it, and I think this is going to flip over to when I'm talking about negative rake scrapers and carbide tools and things like that. Yes, my history is I sell a lot of carbide cutters. No sales here. And I sell a lot of other things. And I talk to you guys all the time about this. And I think you need to understand what the tool is and how it does it. And that's where Worldwide Wood Turners is trying to go. To show you what the tool is and how it does that. Here's a good one. A guy said, I see these guys in Russia. I've seen them too. Really cool turners on YouTube. And they're using, where is it? A jam chuck to put a board in to turn a finished project. How can I do that? Move to Russia. Oh, if you live there, it's okay. No, a jam chuck is a good chuck. And that may be a Christmas ornament hold. Yeah, I think I got something in store for that. We can hold it and turn out a Christmas ornament. Hey, speaking of Christmas ornaments, one of my friends did this little thing using Cocobolo and a urchin. Take a look. Got some more photographs here for you.
I want to start with a piece about my buddy Bill Tubes. Bill's out of Plaquemine, Louisiana. He is kicking cancer's ass, and this is what he does in the meantime. Beautiful work, Bill. Then Brian Randolph is back. He had another piece with us. Nice. I don't get his size on this, but it's really pretty. Larry Moldlin has got this piece. It's got some good character to it. The wood speaks for itself in this one. And then I go back to Richard Maxfield. He did some ornaments a little while ago to show you. These are some table stands or some table decorations that he did for the holidays. They're coming up. Get ready.
That's some fine looking work, isn't it? It's your work. Remember, you want your photograph to be used on worldwidewoodturners.com and on our programs and such. All you have to do is send it to me at our Gmail address, no other way, and I'll add it to the program. It might show more than one time. Depends on if I'm playing favorites or not. Okay, another thing, we don't have good titles and names on stuff. I have an advisory board, advisory team, they're not a board, they're an advisory team, about 6 wood turners from across the world, pardon me, who have said they'll dedicate some time in helping develop this project. And it's an internet-based wood turning club with absolutely no way to make a buck on it. You find a way that you think I can make a buck or somebody else make a buck on it, let me know. It'll be eliminated. But Worldwide Wood Turners is a group of people getting together. I need your help. What do we call the programs? I'm doing a newsletter I'll send out next week probably. And I had some suggestions. I wish I could go to that page and look at it. One guy said the rough end, that would be the monthly show, would be the rough end. The second sanding would be when we come back to do the recap. Final touches would be a little bit of closure on the end of the program. You see where I'm going? Everybody's got them. Today's show's got them. 60 Minutes has got them. GMA's got them. You title out your programs and your stuff like Turning Tips. Hey, got a little tool tip for you today. I want to turn some Christmas ornaments, and I'm going to use my skew to knock down these ornaments and get them shaped up. What do I have to do to my skew to get it in there? This is what I'm using for a skew. It's made by D-Way Tools, but it could be made by half a dozen other companies. It's slightly rounded bottom, no hard corners to dig into my tool rest. I have a flat top if I need it for doing fine work, and it's sharpened at a 25-degree angle. That's a total of 25 degrees. Now, alright, you're going to ask me how to set the grinder up? I can't tell you that because I didn't use a grinder. I did it on my 3x24 belt sander. 3x21 belt sander, pardon me. And I shaped it up with that. Then I came back, when I got it to the 25 degrees, and I got this little thing from Nova that's got some degrees marks on it. a little notches. And I went to the third one out, and it says 25 degrees, and whoop-de-wah, I'm at 25 degrees. I'm closer to 25 to 30, but 30 fits even better. Wow, that's crazy. But I got to that degree because I learned how to master my skew from Eli Avocera. He's really, really good at it, and he can teach about it. We're trying to get Ellie to do some pieces for us. But once I have it ground, 25 degrees, that's it. Now, I got to go to the master of skews, which is Alan Lacer, I believe it is. This can be up to 40 degrees for hardwood, and down to 25 degrees for softwood. Go in between and in the 30 range, and you can pretty much cover both bases. What's the difference? The wider, the 40 degree, will take a harder cut. It won't dull as quick, they say. The 25 degrees is supposed to be a little bit fine and harder to work. I like mine about the way I have it. Once I get it done that way, if I want to sharpen it, this is a sharpener. Right here in front of me, you're seeing it. In front of God and everybody, I'm taking my diamond stone and just touching up that edge. I didn't go to the bench where and put a table and all that stuff. I have no control over that. Up here, I can look right down on it, and I can see it. And if I need help, I'll color that tip, that edge with my marks a lot. I like doing that. And then I can see right where my stone's rubbing at, so if I'm not wasting my time. But I'm going to put a nice little buff on that edge. I'm going to come back with a really good, sharp edge. Then I'll go to cutting on it. If I think it dulled down a little bit, 10, 20 passes, and it's getting a little slower moving, the only thing that changed was the sharpness. I could go back to the grinder and throw steel on the floor that I got to pay for later. I go back to the sander and sand it on the floor that I got to pay for later. Or I could just get my diamond stone out and lap it a little bit. You see, tool tips, they always help a little bitty bit. If you got one, send it on to us, because that's what we're putting together. Tool tips, ideas, tricks, all that stuff here on WorldWideWoodTurners.com. I wonder if I could shave this. Well, I'd have to grow a beard first. Okay. You see how that worked? Right in the middle, we could throw a turning tip in to help you get along with something. Simple tip. It's easy to do, but I want that input from you. I also like to get more of what you feel we can go, or where we can go, or how we can do it. And I am soliciting the top professionals in the industry. And I said the top professionals. I'm not talking about the guys that just need to make a buck. I'm talking to the people that got their heart and soul in this thing. I'm talking to people that live and die by it, because it's where they went and where they want to be. So we're going to talk to those folks about producing shows for us that you can see. But, hey, remember, this is all about you. It really is. If you have a show that you'd like to produce for us, remember our rule. It's non-commercial. You can't stand there with an XYZ or TB1 and tell me everything in the world's going to be fixed if you buy one of these, because I ain't got one and I don't want one. But I want to see what you're going to do with it. So, stay non-commercial. Send me a bit. We'll see if we can use it. We'll insert it in the show, give you credit for it. Hell, we'll make you a star. But that's what we're here for. Because it's not about who's got the biggest wallet for funding. It's about who's got the biggest heart for sharing. Pretty simple. Might be hokey, but it's simple. Right? I was trying to see if I got a few more of these things. Dust protection. A lot of changes in the world lately. A lot of changes. And I'm sitting here outside the shop with a little bit of mildew out here today, and my nose is driving me crazy. I'll get my spray it up and get it out of there. But there's some changes in dust protection that are comfortable and nice. Sometimes pricey, but comfortable and nice. Beats the hell out of breathing through a sock. And I'm looking through the list here. There's over 100 items on this thing. And that's just the first 10 days. And I'm going to go right back to it. It's like an echo. If you have an item you would like us to cover on Worldwide Woodturners, you have to tell us. Doom. How is that? Sound effects? Doom. All you have to do is send me what you'd like to see. Doom. If you have a better way of doing it, I'd like to know about it. Doom. If you think what we did is wrong and stupid, I really want you to tell me about it. I'm not afraid of being called stupid. I'm afraid of being stupid. So send it to me. Let's share it. And this will keep going. It will. And remember, there's no entry fee. There's no registration fee. There's no magazine fee. There's no club fee. Damn, this thing's looking terrible by the moment. No, this is all about us. And we're sharing ideas. We're sharing wood turning. That's what it's all about. And I don't care how hokey you think it is. It's the way 99% of us want it to be. We just didn't have the marketing budget that those other guys had. And we couldn't tie it to what the other guys had. And we didn't make it seem like what the other guys had. It's just between you, right there, you and me. Two wood turners getting together to share ideas. It's all right here. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. Thank you for joining me. We have more coverage. We'll do more wrap-up, more tips and hints. I got to find answers to all these things. There's over 100 of them right here on WorldwideWoodturners.com. Oh, wait, before you go away. You see the artwork we have? Yeah, the artwork done by volunteer. The artwork was done by volunteer. The presentation done by another volunteer. The website, another volunteer. The guy that distributes our ink pens and stuff we collect, another volunteer. You see, they're all doing what I'm doing. Sharing what happens in wood turning. Thank you. Get out in the shop as soon as you can. This is really bad. Get out in the shop and go. Go. It's going to be fall. I tell you, there's a weather change. Oh, the sun just went down. One or two, but we're going to keep rocking and rolling. I'm Captain Eddie. You take care.